Alrighty, and last but not least, really quickly did want to do the reference video, right? It is quite easy and straightforward. Generally, you should, like I did send an email or a message in Canvas that kind of told you how to do it. It's quite easy, but I figured I could do a minute-long video for it. So if you wanted to create references, right, you go to File, and you go to Create Reference, right? File, Create Reference. And then you just go find the references you want to be in there, right? We didn't have to bring in every object, but things like desk we can bring in, so we just click on that reference. So this should pop up, right? When you go to create a reference, it should bring up the browser so that you could find the objects you want to load in, because that's really what you're doing with the references. You're loading a different scene in there, but you're still keeping that connection to the original scene. So it is supposed to bring up a browser like this. So when you see this, it's supposed to do that, right? Because it's wanting you to look for another scene to bring into this scene. So we create reference. There we go. And then, of course, you can see that it's kind of in here. And you can kind of see the little blue guys right there. And then, of course, if you want to bring in something else, File, Create Reference, and we can kind of go back out. Remember that little blue arrow kind of takes you out to your other projects. And I can go to this project and scenes. Bring that lamp in really quick. There we go. And then we've got a bunch of objects referenced in here. Now, the nice thing is the other video talked a little bit more about kind of the reference editor and what referencing is doing, and that I could change stuff between scenes. So this is not meant to replace that video, just be like an extra minute to supplement the stuff that wasn't being captured, basically the menu stuff, right? So if you go back to File here, because References is in the File menu, there's Reference Editor below. Now, you don't really have to use the Reference Editor for this project because there's no real way you can demonstrate unless you guys recorded your own videos with your own capture software to show me, and I'm like, I don't need to go that far with you guys, right? But the Reference Editor is this guy, right? So if you go File, Reference Editor, it does bring this up, and that's where you can kind of click on the lamp or the desk, and you will have noticed I did load images up for these, taking quick screenshots of what these look like. And whatever you have selected, you can hit reload, and it reloads whatever updates have been made in the original scene file. The reference menu here has your ability to remove a reference, right? So if you want to take references out, you can. That's actually the only way. If you reference something in, you can't delete it out. You actually have to go to the reference editor to remove reference. You can duplicate references. This is really meant to be just get you guys exposed to it and have the basic idea of how it works. You're not supposed to be an expert at it yet. It's a little exercise just so that if you go into later class, you're like, yeah, it was a while ago, but I remember referencing, So yeah, that's referencing. But like I said, all you guys have to do is just File, Create Reference, and then just load in a couple of the existing scenes, like desk and lamp would be fine. And then of course what you do is you just go File, Save Scene As, right? And you can just save it as a whole new scene and just call it Exercise 1, right? That's all you have to do. That's what you'll submit and turn in. When it brings it in, it'll actually give me errors, believe it or not. If I see the correct error, it's like it'll pop up a warning dialog box saying, hey, I couldn't find lamp, I couldn't find desk. Do you want me to ignore it? I'm like, I know you did it right. I know you did it correctly if you did that, right? And then usually I'll be able to see outliner, and these will be empty, but I'll see kind of these with the blue, and they'll just kind of be weirdly empty. But I know you did it right if I see that. So that's all you have to do for Exercise 2, right, is File, Create Reference, bring in two other objects like the desk and the lamp to your clock, save scene as, right? So you can actually not save over these originals, right? You can actually save it as something totally different, like Exercise 2, right? So just save it as a new My Scene, Exercise 2, and it'll have the reference stuff in there. Because you're not submitting all of the models, all of the scenes, like I said, it will give me those errors, but that's okay. Because even if you did submit the other ones, because it's not finding them where they're supposed to be, it'll give an error anyways. So that's it. I figured just going to make some quick little supplement videos for that, just so you guys kind of know how that works.